Okay, so you want to own a gym. You can already picture it. Rows of treadmills catching the morning light, the low hum of shakers behind a juice bar, a weight room packed with regulars who nod at you like you're part of the family. Every month, without you lifting a finger, hundreds of payments land in your account. Recurring revenue, passive income, the dream business. You get people healthier and they pay you for the privilege. It's a beautiful story. But here's the part nobody tells you. Before a single member walks through the door, you're already underwater. A commercial space big enough to hold a real gym, say 12 to 15,000 square feet, will run you anywhere from $15 to $30 per square foot per year in rent, depending on the city. That's often $200,000 to $400,000 a year before you've sold a single membership. Then comes the build-out. Rubber flooring alone can cost six figures. Mirrors, lighting, locker rooms, showers, HVAC systems strong enough to cool a room full of sweating bodies. That's not an upgrade. That's survival equipment, and it's expensive. Add commercial-grade cabling for the sound system, plumbing for the bathrooms, permits, fire code compliance, and you're looking at a total build-out of $500,000 to $1.5 million before you even think about equipment. And equipment is its own trap. You can buy it outright: treadmills, squat racks, cable machines, for anywhere from $150,000 to $500,000, depending on the size of the gym. Or you can lease it, which keeps your upfront cost lower, but quietly turns your equipment into a recurring liability. Because now you're paying interest on machines that lose value the moment someone steps on them. Then there's insurance, general liability, property, and workers' compensation. Because someone will eventually drop a barbell on their foot, and when they do, you need to already be covered. Add staffing, payroll software, membership management software, cleaning contracts, and the first check you write isn't the beginning of the expenses. It's the first of hundreds. Here's where it gets interesting. A gym isn't really a fitness business. It only looks like one. Underneath the treadmills and the protein powder, a gym is actually a subscription business built on human behavior. And once you understand that, the entire model flips upside down. The value of a gym isn't measured in how many people work out. It's measured in how many people pay and don't. That's not even the strangest part. In the traditional gym model, a member who shows up every single day is, financially, your worst customer. They wear down the equipment, use the water, the towels, the electricity, the staff's time, all for the same flat monthly fee as the person who signed up in January, felt guilty by February, and never came back. The member who disappears after week 3 but keeps paying $12 a month for the rest of the year is, in cold financial terms, close to pure profit. Gyms don't build their business model around people using the facility. They build it around people intending to. This is where the economics completely change. Most low-cost gym chains are quietly designed around a simple assumption. The average member will use the facility a handful of times a year, if that. The entire pricing strategy, low monthly fees, easy sign-up, minimal contracts, isn't built to maximize workouts. It's built to maximize the number of people paying for a habit they believe they'll start next week. So where does the actual money come from? Base memberships are the foundation, but they're often the lowest margin product a gym sells, sometimes intentionally priced low just to get volume through the door. Annual fees and maintenance charges, tacked onto that monthly rate, exist almost purely to boost margin with very little extra cost to the business. Personal training is where real profit starts to show up. A trainer might cost the gym $20 to $30 an hour, but get billed to the client at $60 to $100, with the gym taking a healthy cut of the difference. Group classes from spin to boot camp let a single instructor generate revenue from 20 or 30 people at once. Brutally efficient math compared to one-on-one training. Then there's the smaller stuff that quietly compounds. Supplements, merchandise, vending machines, recovery services like massage or cryotherapy, childcare add-ons, premium tiers with extra perks, and corporate membership deals with local businesses. None of these alone make a gym profitable. Together, layered on top of the base membership, they're often the difference between breaking even and actually making money. Here's what almost nobody notices, though. The expenses that don't show up on a tour, but slowly bleed a gym dry. Equipment doesn't just sit there. It depreciates, breaks, and needs constant maintenance, and a single treadmill motor replacement can run into the thousands. Electricity and air conditioning for a facility running 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, is a brutal recurring cost, especially in summer. Staff turnover in the fitness industry is notoriously high, which means constant rehiring and retraining costs. Marketing to replace churned members never really stops, and the cost of acquiring a single new member through ads, promotions, and referral discounts can easily run $50 to over $100 per person. Add rent escalation clauses that raise your lease every year, liability claims from injuries, and monthly software subscriptions for booking, payments, and access control, and you start to understand why a gym can look completely packed on a Tuesday evening and still lose money that month. And this single detail changes everything: churn. The industry has long dealt with member attrition rates that can run somewhere between 30 and 50% a year for many traditional gyms, meaning a huge share of the membership base needs to be replaced annually just to stay flat. If a gym doesn't relentlessly manage that churn, it's not really running a fitness business anymore. It's running a leaking bucket, pouring in new members through marketing, spend just to replace the ones sliding out the back door. Add a January rush that fills the gym with hopeful new members, followed by a steep decline by March, and you get a business with wildly uneven cash flow throughout the year. Layer in a competitor boutique studio opening 2 blocks away, or the slow creep of home gym equipment becoming cheaper and more popular, and you start to see why so many independent gyms quietly close within their first few years. That's the trapdoor almost every failed gym falls through. Not a bad location, not lazy owners, not even bad luck, just a slow, structural mismatch between fixed costs that never move and member revenue that constantly does. Rent is due whether the gym is at 40% capacity or 90%. Payroll is due whether it's a busy Monday or a dead Wednesday in July. The businesses that survive aren't the ones with the nicest equipment. They're the ones that treat churn as the single number that decides everything else. So how do the giants survive? Planet Fitness, Anytime Fitness, LA Fitness, Lifetime, Equinox. They don't fight the trapdoor, they engineer around it. Franchising lets a company like Anytime Fitness expand without carrying all the real estate and staffing risk themselves. Franchisees pay the upfront cost and ongoing royalties, while the parent company profits from scale. Economies of scale mean bulk equipment purchasing, centralized marketing, and shared software systems that cost a fraction per location compared to what a single independent gym would pay. Real estate strategy matters too. Some large chains negotiate long-term leases in high-traffic but lower-cost locations, essentially treating retail real estate like a financial asset. Branding turns a commodity, a room full of machines, into an identity people are willing to pay a premium for, whether that's the luxury of Equinox or the judgment-free simplicity of Planet Fitness. And every one of them has mastered upselling, using their unbelievably low base price as a door opener, then generating real margin through premium tiers, guest passes, and add-on services. Behind the scenes, the tax and finance side of gym ownership rewards a completely different kind of thinking. Equipment purchases can often be depreciated, reducing taxable income over time. Owners who purchase their commercial real estate rather than leasing it can build long-term equity in the building itself, separate from the fitness business entirely. Franchisers generate a second, more stable income stream through royalties, which tend to be far less volatile than a single location's membership revenue. Savvy owners pay close attention to EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, because it's the number investors and banks actually use to value the business when it's time to sell or refinance. Leverage, used carefully, lets an owner expand to a second or third location without draining their own cash reserves, though it also means the business now owes creditors, not just landlords. To see how fragile the model really is, picture 2 versions of the same gym. In a good year, that gym might bring in $1.2 million in membership and add-on revenue, spend around $900,000 on rent, staff, equipment, marketing, and utilities, and walk away with roughly $300,000 in profit. A healthy, sustainable business. In a bad year, churn spikes, a new boutique studio opens nearby, and marketing costs rise just to keep membership numbers flat. Revenue slips to $1 million. Cost barely move because rent and staffing don't shrink just because members leave. Profit collapses to under $50,000, sometimes less, even though almost nothing about the gym itself changed. The building looks the same, the equipment looks the same, but the entire financial outcome flipped because gyms operate on razor-thin margins, where small shifts in retention and acquisition cost have outsized effects on the bottom line. The biggest misconception is thinking people pay gyms to work out. They don't. They pay for the possibility of becoming someone else, the version of themselves who wakes up early, who shows up, who finally follows through. The best gym owners aren't selling fitness. They're selling hope, discipline, identity, and a recurring financial model quietly engineered around human behavior. The treadmills are just the set dressing. The real business happens in the gap between who people are and who they intend to become. And that gap, it turns out, is one of the most profitable spaces in modern commerce.